Hello, friends. It's been forever and a day. Welcome back to the Artist Within podcast. I am your host, Adela Hittel. This podcast is produced by Project Human Think, a new way to think about mental and emotional health. And the idea behind the Artists Within is that we're all creatives within one way or another. We create our realities, we create the stories we tell, we create every narrative of our and shape of our, again, of our whole being, yet we don't think that we do, and we don't think that we're in control of it, and we are. And the idea came to me that I am the artist of my life, and I am the artist within, and I get to design, create, paint, sing, dance in whichever way I feel the need to, and also I have the ability and capacity to express it. So why not? And I've created that, and over the last 2 years, you guys, you have helped me so much by supporting, liking, subscribing, rating us on all our on Apple Podcasts, actually. So thank you for that. I got some good ratings there, and on many other ones. So please do give us a rating, give us a shout out if you like what we're doing, like the stories we're sharing, like the voices you're hearing, like listening to me. That would be great. But yeah, it's been a minute since I've been able to get on. We've had so many things going on, so there will be an episode coming out really shortly about the updates and what's going on and where I've been and what we've been doing and building. But in the meantime, like I said, you've helped us, support us, and we've reached over 1,200 downloads with your support. No advertisers, no promotion, no marketing. It has literally been word of mouth and your kind words of wanting to listen and share a message with someone else. So thank you for that. Thank you also for tuning into our monthly community conversations. They have been an amazing asset, an amazing resource to add to our podcast, because it gives an opportunity to more humans be able to hear, be heard, be seen, be felt, and also provide a little bit of a different perspective to someone else that they may need. And again, that's ultimately what I do here, what we do here. Why I created what I've created is to be able to create spaces, places for human beings to be heard. And we're all human, despite our labels and our backgrounds and our faiths and our religions and all that. Ultimately, we are human beings. And every single one of us, from the youngest to the oldest, deserve an opportunity to create something that matters to us in this life. But we have to be responsible, right, to take it on. And we have to be accountable to be a part of it. And we also have to be okay potentially having setbacks in the way we've viewed our dreams and the way we've approached life, to take a step back and have to reevaluate it, have to pause, have to potentially rethink your whole life and see how it's going to be for you. And it might not seem like it's a big deal, or it might not be a big decision or a big impact on your body or your health or your mind or any of that. But what if it is? What if it changes how you're able to walk, talk, process, how you're able to navigate this world? What if the impacts of the world have made you so unable or incapable of seeing what's out there, or seeing what you can do and accomplish, because, well, there's so much going on for you. There's levels to all of this, right? And my next guest, who I'm really, really excited to share with you and talk to, and for her to share her voice with you, is my mentee that I actually met at Generation Wow. Which, thank you, Generation Wow, for that opportunity to be a part of something that gives an opportunity to, again, humans to come together and mentors to come together from different aspects. And you gave me a great mentee, whom I just genuinely love, and she's just fabulous. So I got to meet this young woman now a couple of years ago, and what's great about it is that her mom was my son's teacher when he was in I want to say not preschool, kindergarten, no, middle. I don't know what elementary school. She'll correct me. One of the schools. He was in that. He's old now, not old, but he's growing up. He doesn't care about that anymore. He's going to high school. He says he's got his life together. So, but she was, and what a wonderful surprise it was when we went on a walk at UNF, and her mom came pick her up, and I was like, I know you, and we know you. And so, like, just this beautiful way of how God has a way of working and putting humans into your life that you may not know you'll impact later or now, and then to have relationships with. It's beautiful when you look at it. So I'm so super excited because, like I said, you'll hear from her story, her life. And she is also now a part of our Think family and one of our models to our Runway Resilience Fashion and Art fundraiser in in September 19th. So get your tickets. We have tickets available. We are going to have a great show, great night of celebrating human life, celebrating creativity, celebrating the caregivers and all of that. And she will be one of our participants, one of our models. And I'm super excited to introduce you guys to, let's get her in right now because I've been talking, Miss Kali Farnsworth. Welcome, my love. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm alive. I'm breathing and keep talking. That's what I keep doing. That's my best shot. So introduce yourself. I gave a little bit of an introduction of how we met, and a little bit, just nothing about you, but just a little how we met. So tell the world who you are, who is Kali, how old you are, and what you're a little bit about.
So I'm Kali Farnsworth. I'm 16 years old and I'm big into sports and everything like that. Um, I do cheer, tennis. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan for everyone that knows me. Um, and I like just helping other people and just making a difference.
And she likes music and she likes fashion, and she's a cheerleader, and she is so many other things. You did cheerleading, right? If I'm correct for you.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
still working on
And she's
that.
still working on that. Yes. And then now she's going to model and potentially other things explore. She loves marine science. Did I get that right this time?
I do love marine science. Yes, marine biology.
Marine biology. Look at me. I'm getting there. I listened. I just can't remember it sometimes. But yes, so I'm so excited. Oh, and she was also part of our, I forgot to mention part of how we kind of came into this now. I invited her on her birthday last year when we did
Mhm.
the at Ascent Aviation here at Hurlong, which shout out to Ascent Aviation and Hurlong Airport for giving us an amazing opportunity to be able to create an opportunity for someone like Callie to come and participate through one of our projects and campaigns that we were doing. And it was her birthday, and we called her out, called her parents out, said if it was okay. And I was like, could you come in and take some pictures? And we did. And it was so exciting. And during our conversations, I'll probably pull them back up so we can reflect a little bit upon it, and we can see that. But it was just so wonderful to be able to, again, offer that experience in there. And I'd love to get your input through that too in a minute. But my question to you now, you're 16 and you're navigating a whole lot of different things, in life, and many decisions and probably social aspects. So it's really an interesting space for you to be between being a teenager and adult, right? What is that season? What does this feel like for you? What is this navigation into that feel like for you?
So I'm the youngest of three siblings. So I've kind of watched my siblings grow up and leave to do church missions or go to college or things like that. So I kind of had role models to watch go into it. And I'm in the same program that my brother was in. So we're in early college. So I'm taking college classes instead of going to my high school this year and next year. So I'm just kind of getting pushed into the adult aspect sooner, and it's kind of nerve-wracking. But I'm also like, I'm getting more freedom and I'm being recognized as my own individual self, and that's nice gaining my own voice.
I love that. And so as you're navigating that, what is that? So you said it's a little nerve wracking and a little overwhelming potentially too. How to, you love getting your voice. Does that also give you a little bit of confidence and a little bit of strength that you can trust yourself that others are trusting you to navigate, certain levels of responsibility that you might be able to navigate for yourself as you move on?
I've definitely seen confidence building, and I'm happy about what I'm doing. And I've been put into more leadership roles as I've seen, and it's like, oh, I have to live up to this, but I'm also like, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to do this.
Yes. No, that's so exciting. See, we talked about that. Leaders lead. Remember when we met and we sat at that table and we were stickers and I was already going like, ma'am, and you're like, why? You're like my best friend. Why? Do you remember that day? But
Do.
because again, you're a leader. I already knew. It's so crazy that we got put together because we literally from each other. And by the way, you guys, I am 39 and she's 16. And yet our spirits and like, we don't expect or require anything less than outstanding from being around each other and the people around us. Like, that's what I assume one of the qualities was that we connected on.
I actually have this vision board still from that party that you made me put the leadership sticker on. You're like, you're gonna need this in the future.
See, and all leaders, when I see them, you guys, I know them. I know humans who will shine, and we have to give them those moments, opportunities, and give them that like support. And I'm not the best mentor, by the way, you guys. Okay, I said she's my mentee. I didn't say I was the best mentor, so let's be real.
But
However,
you
come on,
are.
I'm here. I'm here whenever you need me, right? Part of I think we both had an agreement on was like when we started that relationship was when you need me, I'm here for you, and reach out to me, and I'll be there. But I'm not hounding. I don't hound. I don't like, but I'm here and I'll check in with you and like, what can we do? And when opportunities are there, do you want to come? Do you want to do this? Invite me. Like, we really created that relationship of not, I'm your adult, but hey, I'm here. Hey, I'm here, your partner. I hope that's what it felt like, or we have.
Absolutely. You're always, I felt times where I just need to reach out and I was like, I have Adela. And I just send you a message and you'd answer. And I knew you had an outrageous schedule and you're so busy and you always made time for me.
It's like I told you, I may not chase, it may not, but if you reach out, I'm always number one conversation, like always there for the human, and that's part of what we teach and hope that as you take on in there to do too, that there's always time not only for the human but for yourself. There's always time for a moment to step back, to realize no matter how busy we are and what we're doing and creating, and again with your leadership roles that you're taking on. So leading into, what are you most excited about this part of adulthood and this part of the future that you have, and what still feels a little bit more uncertain?
Really like the experiences that I'm gaining and like the people I'm meeting around along the way. And they're just helping build who I am as a person. And that's just really amazing to see. The parts that I'm kind of weary on because colleges are coming up and my plans that I had, and I already had everything planned out, you start to see the cracks in them and just making that work with relationships and other things like that. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I'm exactly as ready as I thought I was.
Can I ask you to elaborate a little bit more on that? Like you said, you start to see the cracks in your plans, which is a very, very mature thing to see and talk about. What does that look like for you? And you mentioned relationships and stuff, but what is, if you don't mind going a little more in depth in that?
Absolutely. Um, so I always had the dream you cheer, you get a scholarship, you go to UGA and you cheer for them. And I was always set on that part. And now I'm starting to see, oh, injuries are getting in my way. I'm having setbacks. And then it's always, hey, will your knees hold up? Are you going to get this scholarship? You have to be the best. So then you're competing against yourself and others more than you would because cheerleading is a team sport. And just falling out of that. And then obviously, my parents are really worried um, with all of my knee pain and all of the problems that I've had with my knees. Like, oh, is it safe for us to put you back in? Even though I've been cleared by doctors, there's always a risk. So there's always that part. And then I'm like, how am I going to pay for college if I don't get the scholarships? How am I going to make all of my ends meet? Do I even want to go into this major? So everything, I'm just starting to see the little inconsistencies that little me didn't think of.
And they're dawning on you now. Yeah. Can you tell us about your injury? I know that it happened a little bit ago. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Because that's definitely the start of a lot of your
Yes. Um,
cracks.
so when I was 11, so sixth grade, I ended up tearing my MCL on my left knee cheering. And I was on crutches for 4 months, which you should never be on them for that long. I just didn't trust myself and I lost confidence, so I got pushed back. Physical therapy then cleared me because my tear wasn't big enough to get surgery. They said it would heal on its own. So then I went back and I started playing flag football. There was a mishap during one of the games. I got tackled and my hamstring, I sprained it. And was on crutches for 2 months and went to physical therapy again. And then they decided to tell me that I had chronic knee pain in my left knee and hamstring tendonitis. So my hamstring just randomly aches and I get pain from it. And my knees can basically at any time just kind of feel weak and I just have to take a break. And then last year in September, I was at a football game cheering and I was just standing on the sideline and my knee gave out and on my right knee. And luckily I was used to it, so I didn't fall on the floor or anything. I just shifted my weight to the other leg and I hopped over to the bench to talk to the sports medic. I was then told that I needed to go to the hospital and because I had torn my meniscus in two different places and I needed surgery. And that was just shattering. I felt like my whole world just crumbled at that football game. And I was embarrassed at the time, not anymore, because I was crying on the bench in front of the whole football team, all of the school. It was our biggest rival game. And I was like, of course this happened now. So in October of last year, I got surgery. And surgery was just super hard. I was angry. I was in pain. The medicines weren't working. Um, and I remember I had like soft things and I just chuck it at the wall. Or there are nights I was so angry, I just be like, God, why'd you do this to me? Why'd you make me like this? And then I started to shift my focus. I was in a wheelchair for about 12 weeks, but I kept going places. I didn't stay at home. I wasn't by myself. And even through the pain, I found relief in some of the youth songs from our church, and my pain would just go away, and I just felt it with me. And then long recovery, I actually just got released from physical therapy at the beginning of July. And it was like an 8 month recovery. And I was diagnosed with chronic knee pain and hamstring tendonitis in my right knee.
So now you've been cleared for, the sure you can do stuff, but you're not cleared, if you will, right? Like you have every moment of potentially, again, knee giving out, something happening, something in any way. And what if it's way worse? Now that might be a thought for you, right? Like what if, okay, so all these times it's been a fix, and these are like a lot of, so you guys, for our listeners and those watching, first of all, like this is real life for a lot of our young people too, in what's happening in their lives, whether that's their health. And we older ones know that like once our health goes and something happens, we're throwing tantrums and having a bad day and trying to figure out, navigate life. We're talking about our youth, and Kali here too, who literally has since 11 has had a potential of never being able to walk again if something happens, right? Like, so like that type of injury could do something where it could, like, and I don't mean like walk that way, like you'll still walk, but the level of your mobility, the level of your freedom, like you said, you love sports, you love this level of being there, and this reality that's hit you, in this thought process that you're in. How are you navigating those thoughts?
So doctors were always like, they'd be like, so what's your goal with recovery? And immediately, without a doubt, I was like, I want to cheer again. I want to get up and I want to cheer again. or my goal for this last one, the day I got cleared to do sports again, I put on my hockey skates and I went and I ice skated. And I always had the mentality, because they tell you chronic knee pain, it's just when you don't know what's happening and there's not necessarily a fix for it. They can just tell you cortisone shots, physical therapy, anything like that. But I had the mentality, and I still do, if it's going to hurt no matter what, why can't it hurt when I'm doing something I love?
Chills. Chills. Okay. What a quote. That is the name of our episode with you. If it's gonna hurt no matter what, why would it hurt? Like, why does it matter if it hurts doing what I love? Oh my God. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So that's how I keep going back into my sports and everything. And there's been times that I haven't gotten hurt. I haven't gotten hurt a single tennis season. And sometimes my knees just flare up and I just need to take a break. So I might sit out of practice one day or ice and stuff. I just have to be super careful about what tricks I'm doing. And, and the easiest part for me to go back into sports is I never get hurt when I'm doing something dumb. When I got hurt at the football game, I was actually seriously just standing on the sideline. I was not moving. I was literally just sitting waiting for them to call the next cheer. And sure, the first time a girl fell on my knee backwards. Those accidents happen all the time. No matter where you're at, you can't control those. So there's never been a time where I got hurt because I was doing something that I shouldn't have been doing. So that makes it a little easier on where I'm going. I will say it's always in the back of your head, hey, you could get hurt. That's one of my biggest mental blocks because on the cheer team, I'm a flyer. So I'm getting thrown in the air and I'm doing all these crazy things. And I'm like, okay, don't land wrong. Hey, pull tighter, you're not going to make it, which really psychs yourself out. You're not supposed to think about anything when you're in the air. You just have to be tight. So just kind of having a mental battle in my mind before throwing a skill. And like I keep ibuprofen on me everywhere I go, no matter where I'm at, because it's just hard. You just have to be prepared for everything. And sorry, I forgot about this part. I just got a diagnosis, not really a diagnosis. My kneecaps have started to where they slightly shift out of place randomly on both knees. So that's a new struggle. So I have these new braces. They're called J braces. So they have a block on one side of the knee to just kind of keep it in place.
Yeah.
Which is not fun. And I definitely scare a lot of people when I just kind of like stop walking and pop my kneecap back into place and just move on with my life. But it's always kind of there. And you don't really forget that it's there until you're doing something that you're having fun, which I'm a big adrenaline person, which is why I love flying and everything, because I just don't think about anything. I'm like, I'm on top of the world. I'm free. So I think that part, it helps with the injury because I'm like, it doesn't bother you after you're doing it.
Yeah. You are so inspiring, Kali. Like, you are so, so not only just beautiful, but like, God's got you, girl. Like, listen, all of that, like, yes, but He's got you and what you're gonna do, and like your resilience, your for real, like runway, like let's talk about runway to like you are running to your resilience. You are like, nothing is gonna stop me. None of that. Even though I assume you might be struggling with the identity of who you were and where you are now. And how does that also relate to like now school and classmates? You said you scare some people, when you have to pop it in. What's that dynamic like now? Like, what's the dynamic like now after the injury, right? Because I assume it was a little different before versus now.
So, from the first injury to now, one thing has stayed constant. There are always going to be people who think it's not as bad as it seems, or you're being dramatic. I really struggled the first few injuries with people telling me I was faking, or that it wasn't that important, or their pain was probably worse, because a lot of people don't follow my train of injuries. A lot of people don't have anything I've had. Finding stories about people going through physical therapy, all these injuries, and nobody finding answers. I didn't see anything about it. I searched social media just trying to find somebody to look up to, and I couldn't find anything. So people, when they hear about something new like this, they're like, oh, it's not real. And they just kind of push off my pain. I had teachers tell me I looked fine and I didn't need to leave early or things like that. And I just got overlooked. And this last injury really proved something to people because I learned, so I was in the wheelchair and I still had to go to school. I missed 2 weeks of school and then I went back. And I had some amazing people by me that would push my wheelchair, carry my stuff, help me get up. And I don't like sitting still. So I'd balance on my good leg and I just stand up and balance on my good leg and I just have the other leg floating, which my doctor probably would scream if she knew that
I
I
was
did that.
literally
I'm
thinking you
sorry.
probably shouldn't have done that, but again, your independent
Yeah.
gene is just not gonna sit down. No.
And I have something called hypermobility.
Me too.
So
Me too.
my joints move more than they're supposed to. So it also makes my injuries really hard.
Yeah.
So my right leg, it comes all the way to my head and more. And it takes the pain away when I lift my leg up. I can't tell anybody why. There's no actual reason. It just works like that. And I'd randomly do that, and people were like, that's not normal. And things like that. Or I'd do the splits, which again, probably shouldn't say that. And when I got back on crutches after the wheelchair, which was actually Christmas time,
What a present.
yeah, the day of Christmas, I got to walk with crutches, and I was like, hey, I'll take it.
Yes.
And I learned that I could run on crutches my second injury. And my surgeon actually has a video of me sprinting on the sidelines in my cheer uniform with my crutches. And people take notice of that and they're just like, that's not normal. That how long have they been on those to learn these skills? And then I had more people come ask me about things and I started to learn that sharing my story and they're like, I've never heard of anything like that. And I met this one kid at physical therapy who had similar injuries and they're like, they just told me it was chronic knee pain and they told me I couldn't do anything about it. And I was like, that's what I have. And I was like, you can change it. You can make a difference. Yes, listen to your doctors, but test out what you need to do. It's your story.
So you are, when I tell you that you're such an inspiration, Callie, like you are such an inspiration. I was in my 30s. I was probably 33 before I started to trust myself because I was told I was crazy. I was told that I had phantom pains and that it wasn't because I looked normal and I could show up and I could win and I could do this. I was told there was nothing wrong with me. Hypermobility is not a problem. I mean, it is a problem when you have a lot. When pains happen in our bodies and in different things, because we have a higher tolerance for it and our mentality is stronger, that's not normal, right? But to me, then it goes, how many weak-minded people do we have that you can't, again, the strength that you should have for yourself to be able to withstand what you need to withstand for the dreams, for the goals, for your life, that is your responsibility. And you at 16 are taking it on going, no doctor's going to defy that I can't move and I can't do this. Why? Because I know my body. That's the other part, is you're aware of your body and you trusting your body has always been the number one thing you've had to learn in cheer. You've had to learn to trust yourself, learn to that. So an injury like that can also cause you to have distrust in your body, obviously, because of that. However, building that relationship with your body and with what you're capable, while everyone else may look at you and go, that's not normal, that's not this, that's not that. Even before this, I was like, I need to like, what are you doing for yourself and to make sure that you're going to have the most fulfilled life? And it sounds like you're navigating the world, which is again our world of what people think. And that's also hard because you do want to be a part of a community. You do want to be a part of teams and part of people's lives and be thought of good and all of that. But ultimately, like you just said, no one's in your body, your mind, your pain daily to live. So why are we competing with the rest of the world when we have to figure out how we're going to be able to make it through the day and run on the crutches and be able to navigate this while somebody else is sipping their coffee and saying that like, oh, nothing, not that they don't have trauma or nothing wrong or whatever, or they having to fight through, but to diminish and dismiss what we're doing. And also for us not to share our stories, including me. I'm again going on to 40 and I'm just now sharing a story of surviving a war, having complex PTSD, having social anxiety, not being able to go outside because I would think I would be blown up, or having my body because of the level of cortisol and my adrenaline and my glands shot due to trauma give up and me drop my baby. And I didn't drop my baby, but like to potential that I can't, and all I'm doing is holding on, and then drop yourself, hurt yourself. And then people go, you're crazy, Adela. There's nothing wrong with you. Your body's not giving out. You're not throwing things at people. You're not like in pain at all. You don't have to have people beat you up just for release. That's just crazy. So that also creates a bit of pain and kind of resentment, I think, holding it in without sharing it. So for you to be 16, for you to share it, for you to see also yourself as an inspiration, I hope you do, because I see you that way, that you're now being able to connect with other humans and share, like, I see you, I feel you. I'm not going to dismiss you. I'm not going to neglect what you're telling me because I don't live your life. And that level of empathy and understanding is what, it doesn't matter, again, your age, your space, your place, or your circumstance, that we shouldn't dismiss humans' experiences and their lives because they're telling you. Now, we're not all of them are true, obviously. Like, we know that there's not everything's that, but when you know humans and you know who they are and what they do and what they stand for, to dismiss them is a really big fault that we do to society. So I congratulate you for standing up for yourself and advocating for yourself, and having also a good system now, I assume, that is advocating for you and that is there for you too. How is that now? Do you have a system that advocates for you now, and you also yourself to do that?
I definitely have people like that share my voice and have similar qualities and just want to help me. Um, One of my biggest people who supported me, you've met her, Kyrie, my best friend. She's been here with me since sixth grade. She's been there for every injury. Um, People joke that, where's your servant when she's absent or anything? And I'm like, no, that girl has saved me so many times. Um, she's actually, I tell people not to catch me when I fall because it just makes everything more awkward, and I know how to fall safely.
Yep.
Um, so she'll like block off an area so I don't get hit, but she's carried my bags, she's pushed my wheelchair, she's helped me with crutches. I've jumped on her back and she's just walked with me. That girl has done everything for me. And she's someone who would jump to defend me when somebody would say something, or I got hit with a couple basketballs or something at gym. She'd jump up and she'd just be ready to throw hands.
I love
She
it.
was like, that's my friend. Don't you dare do that. And then I have, so the early college kids, there's like 15 of us, and we've been together since sixth grade. And they're like a family, and they all just support me, which is amazing. And then my parents and family, all of that, they're there. And my mom's been really open with letting me share my story to help others. Um, and like having a separate Instagram that's not public and I'm not allowed to let people join it right now. But it just, it's like something for me just to express my feelings. And I've had it since the beginning of surgery. And there's times where I've missed whole months of uploading and everything just because I I couldn't. I was down, I was sad, I was just in pain. And that like my mom was the one who's like, Callie, do you still want to go to homecoming even though you're on crutches? And she just supported me. So I still went, I still danced, I still had fun. I hung out
Awesome.
with my friends, and that was just amazing. And then, of course, my sister and my brother. My sister would stay up late with me and watch movies with me, or she'd play the songs for me while I was just in pain. So just having that support system was amazing. And then my dad, all I wanted after surgery was my dad to be there because I passed out a few times from needles, the IVs. They missed a couple times, and I just had a vasovagal response. So I, I just like, I was so out of it, and I did it every time. So my dad was there, and like, there's a video on my Instagram where he's spoon feeding me a slushie after surgery, and I'm just not conscious, and just things like that. And that support system really showed. And then, sorry,
No,
I
no, keep
forgot
telling.
about this part. Um, the church that I'm in, which is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it's such family oriented, and every time I needed something, they were there because I couldn't go up the stairs, so they moved the classes to where I could be. And then I do the Zoom for it, the broadcasting, and I couldn't get up the stairs to do it. So people would do it for me. And I had kids that would just come give me hugs, and adult leaders who would just check on me. And it was really amazing because I got called as the young women president when I was in a wheelchair. And I was like,
Mm,
do you really want this me to do this? I can't even walk. Our
right.
theme was walk with me. And I was like, how do you want me to lead these people when I can't walk? How am I supposed to show walk with me when I can't walk? And I just had so many people give me that answer to that. And that was amazing. And just the support system behind everyone makes everything different.
You, when I think of when I met your family and I met your parents last year, like when I really met your dad and your mom, like the love that they have for you and the protection that they have, like it really shows. The also it shows how deep of a connection you guys have, right? It's not just, hey, this is my mom, this is my dad. Like you guys have such a deep relationship in knowing that you have each other's back. And what a beautiful thing to see. What a beautiful family to have. What a beautiful support system. And again, for them to trust me to be like, hey, come out to this strange hangar. Can she come out for a second? Can she pop in and be like part of that? That was totally cool too, because most people are like, hey, that's a crazy lady. So again, to have you be part of these experiences and be part of that, it's amazing. And to grow with your family and to see them and to see you guys thrive, I love it. And again, know that obviously I'm always there for you, but always for them too. Like if it's ever needed anything, just because, well, it's what we're supposed to do. They show that through the kindness and the way when we talk about leading with heart and leading with like God in mind, like you guys literally exemplify that towards the care of another human being, towards the care and love of each other, your community and all that. Like it's fantastic. So I just want to tell you that, like, again, despite all the hardships that you are facing and will continue to face, because that's part of it, your resilience is top notch, and you will be knocked down, but you don't stay down. You will take a punch and you will wipe it off, and you'll be like, yeah, nah, I'm still gonna run, so let's go. And it's so beautiful to see that, to know that. And when you are down, if you're ever in that need of someone need to pick your hand up, I'm a text phone call away, literally. Like, I will be, and I will listen, I will drop too. I will drop some hands if needed. I may be all good, but I will drop hands when needed for my girl, let me tell you.
I love that when you checked in on me and I was like, "How are you?" And you were like, "I'm okay. I'm going through physical therapy," because you had
I had a car
a car.
accident. Yeah, the
Yes.
2 days before our shoot, I was in a car accident. 2 days before our shoot, my car was totaled. So
Even for surgery, you were still in physical therapy. And I remember you asking questions about me. And I'm like, I think we both had the same mentality. I don't care about myself. Are you okay? And I was like, no, not about my knee. What else happening with you? And you kind of were doing the exact same thing. And I just thought that was really funny because I just wanted to make sure you were okay and you just wanted to make sure I was okay.
because really, like, no offense to myself for what I'm going through, at the end of the day, like, I know I'm still going through it. Like, I know I got to deal with it, but like, it'll also help me take, that's the other, okay, so servitude, right? And being a steward of this life, or just service to others, it helps you heal. It, like, being there for someone else, asking how I can be of service to you, like, it helps you take yourself out of a dark place. And when you're in your dark place, when we're not serving others in our darkest needs too, we end up suffering way more than if we were to be like, hey, I wanted to, like, when I was suffering, I was like, something was like, I'm like, I just need to check in on her. Like, something's telling me she's going through it too. Let me check in on her. So I checked in on you, and you're like, yeah, I'm going through it. And I was like, oh, good. Let me get out of mine. How can I be a rope for her? Like, how can I walk there and be a rope for her? And you're going thinking, oh, good. How can I be? Because I don't want to be here either. So thank you for sharing that with me, because it's good to know that, again, that there are those relationships, there are those mentalities, and then knowing that you, when you're in your crap and you're in your own stuff, you can be like, hey, but I know I'm here and that other person's there. You know what? I have a little bit more to give. Let me see if they need it. Let me see if I can give them just a little bit more. Oh my God, great. And if they don't, and they're like, no, let me give to you, then you're like, oh, we're both good in there. Oh, let's go do a photo shoot. Like, like, so it's great. I was looking for the pictures to pull them up. For some reason, I can't find them on my thing now. So you guys, I'll share them on a post. So check out for that. But I want to ask you about that. I invited you literally last minute to that thing. Like, it was on the day. It was like, hey, your birthday's today. Are you busy at all? And it's like, your birthday. And she's like, actually, I'm busy. It's my birthday. So like, I was like, but if you could pop in, would you mind? So tell me about that.
Oh, that was such an amazing experience. So I we were like pushing to like in the party and everything. Luckily, people were ready to leave, and my two best friends just came with me. So they were at my house, and I just showered everything because we were swimming. And then my friends helped me do my makeup and my hair. And at the time, I had really short hair, and I love those photos, but I'm also like, oh, I don't really want to look back at them. And um, I showed up, and immediately you saw me, and you ran across the parking lot, and we're like, oh my goodness, it's my Kali. And I was just so happy you introduced me to everyone. Everybody was super nice. And then I remember you handed me all the stuff. Actually still have all of it, and it's in a keepsake box. And I actually have all of the little red envelopes that I've ever gotten from you in the same keepsake box. And you were telling me, giving me the rundown, and then we go and get ready, and you were expecting to have to alter that dress for me to wear it.
I was.
And it was fit
Perfect fit.
perfectly,
It fit
and we
perfect.
didn't have to do anything. And then I don't remember her name, the sweetest lady that let me borrow her shoes.
I want to say either Heidi
I
or,
think it was Heidi.
yeah, Heidi or Miss Victoria. I'm not sure.
Yes. And they let me borrow their shoes, and everybody was just super sweet. You let my mom come on with me, and then just taking the photos and everything. And then when were like, hey, do you still want her in the shot? Because they thought I was one of the actual models. And he went, what? And just was like confused. He was like, I thought she was part of it. And so that was a really cool experience just to, because that was my first time doing anything, just to be mistaken with one. I was like, oh my goodness. That kind of made me like, I was like a little happy. I did a little happy dance. I was excited about that. And then I thought it was cool because I combined kind of my mom used to do fashion and she used to model for things. And my dad works on airplanes. So I got to combine a little bit of my parents in one. So that was also a cool
I
experience.
didn't know that. How cool is that?
Yes. So I just thought that part was amazing. And just being involved in it and then watching the photos come out, I was so excited. And like I didn't have any social media at the time, so I haven't posted any of those photos. They're literally just sitting on my phone,
That's okay. They're for
which
you.
I need to
They're
do
for
something
you.
with.
They're for
Um,
you. That's part of that is we look at those moments. Again, you didn't even know you were doing that. I was like, could you come out? I would just want to have you part of that. And then like again, we're like, hey, shoes, this, that. That's what a set is like. That's what it happens. So but for
wait,
you to be able to look back on them and see your growth and like that, that's amazing. Like I see when I saw that and your mom came to me and was like, thank you for giving her this, like she needed that boost of confidence. And she literally, she's like, I haven't seen my Kali shine and smile in a while. So like that was worth like all of it for me. That would like anything and everything we did today didn't matter for your mom's comment for that was what mattered to me the most.
I think today's the day I have to put the post up for the thing um to raise awareness. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna combine the old photos that I used during those photo shoots, and I'm gonna put up the thing just to raise awareness. Oh, I have the one where I'm flipping the skirt, and I'm just happy. And I think that one's my favorite by far because I can see how happy I was. And then the behind the scene photos where I can see you smiling, those are so amazing. So that experience, I don't bring it up a whole lot because I'm like, oh, but to my friends and everything that they know, like Kyrie was like, oh my goodness, you seem so happy. And I was like, I am. This is amazing. So I I'm excited that I'm getting the opportunity to work with it again.
Dude, you were the first one of my first I was like, who do I want my models to be again? Like and you know this now that I don't do anything traditional at all. Like this way, I'm like, nope, I want this person, I want that. Nope, I want that. Nope, do this, do this, do this. Because why should I put you in a box? Why should we contain some? Why should we not have the ability to have a moment and be like, no, let's try this? It's art, it's creative, it's expression. Like there's obviously constraints to some of it and boundaries and like whatever, but like rules per se for my like, nah, I want humans to feel. I don't care your age. I don't care your background. I don't care your experience. I care that you come on and you experience as much joy in the moment that we create together, or as much confidence, or as much a moment that you get to take away. Like I still, like I said, remember when you were there and your mom came to me, like I was in pain that day too. Like I was that day. My doctor, when they found out what I did, they were so mad at me. So you talk about your doctor, like when they found out what I did 2 days after, and then my physical therapy, and then she found out I jumped off the plane because at the end of it, when you guys all left, I jumped off the plane with no shoes on, just hitting the concrete into my feet after an accident and all that. Yeah, like physical therapy was not happy with me, nor was I happy with myself. But we're resilient. We want to fly, and we're flying, and I'm like, I can do it.
It'll be
And
worth it later.
it was so worth the shots. It was so worth it all. I don't care. Like I just so worth again. What is pain? What was your quote again? Because
Why would I be in pain no matter what? Then be
if
in
I'm in
pain
pain,
with
no
doing
matter
something I love.
if I'm in pain no matter what, then I might as well be in pain doing what I love. Yep. That's what it was. Exactly. So I was like, I love creating. I love humans. I love putting this together. I love creating moments. It's not about the image. It's not about the end result. Like, it's not about, even with this Runway to Resilience, you guys, our fashion show that we're planning, and we're working really hard at the back end. And there's when we talk about so many cracks and back ends and slaps that we're getting on this other end, we're getting them left and right. But that's okay. Again, we're resilient. We're all pushing through. The communities coming together. And at the end of the day, that's the most important part. How are we growing? How are we learning? And how are we navigating? And I've also learned a lesson. The faster I fall on my face and fail, the faster I get back up again, and I'm stronger for it again. And the more I do it in front of people who can't handle it, the more I stay stronger, the more they fall off back there, because I'm the consistent one, right? I'm consistently falling and consistently getting back up, but at least I'm consistent. And that is part of resilience. And that is part of what we're doing in this show and in this night. So what are you so excited about us celebrating resilience and celebrating this ending? And not only that you're going to be part of the ending to a documentary and all these other stuff that we want to do. And again, these big ambitions Adela has too. What are you so excited about in this coming future of working with Fink and what we're doing?
I actually really love the just sharing people's stories, because I've seen a lot of people try and do it, but you really make sure you execute it. I've watched your YouTubes and all of that and the podcast because I was really interested in your story. And I'm really excited to raise awareness. And then I loved the theme, and I'm really excited to be a part of that. And I don't know if they've released the theme. Have they released the theme?
We have released the theme.
Okay.
It is the butterfly garden.
Okay.
Yes, so it is the butterfly garden, and that
I wanted to make sure I didn't share anything.
You can share anything and everything. We are sharing everything and anything now. Yes.
I went through a huge butterfly obsession way back when. And I'm super excited to see about this and how it just gets executed, and then just being a part of it. And then I'm excited to work with the other models and other people that are going to be on board, and to go and just be within the people and do what I can do. And of course, I'm excited to do the modeling part again. And at first, I didn't know there was going to be a podcast. I didn't know there was going to be a documentary or anything like that. So that was all just, oh my goodness. I was like, I knew this company was big, but now I'm like, I had no idea how big.
Thank you.
Because I was like, I didn't think any of that was happening. I thought at most it was just going to be on live. And I was like, Adela always finds a way to prove me wrong and to go the extra mile, no matter where we're at. Whether it's me keeping her on a trail. So that was just, oh my goodness.
Okay, side quest story, you guys.
Bigger.
Yes, side quest story, you guys. Really quick. So we're gonna leave our runway to resilience on the runway, but let's go to the trail real quick. Tell them about keeping me on the trail. Okay, I'm supposed to be her mentee or mentor, and I'm supposed to inspire her, and I'm supposed to guide her. I'm supposed to. Okay, go ahead.
So Virgin Wow, we were sitting on a trail, and there's signs everywhere, and it's like, do not leave the trail. And they told us beforehand, do not leave the trail. And I want to say it's like 50 degrees, maybe 40. It's freezing because I think we're in the middle of winter. It's freezing outside, and there's another group of mentee and mentor with us. And I'm really like to explore, and I follow the animals. I get sidetracked, and I just pointed out. I'd be like, Adela, look at that. And she's like, let's go follow it. And I was like, hold up. Wait. I'd love nothing more than to go follow the animal. But I'm also like, I know this is Florida, and we're going to find something we don't want to find. And I was like, we're going to get lost because I know myself and I know my luck. And I'm like, let's not do this. And then there was one point in the course where there was just a log, but you had to kind of jump over the bridge to go get to the log. And Adela's like, hey, Callie, go stand on that. I need a photo. And I was like, okay. So I think I hopped over the thing. I'm not even sure. And Adela takes the photo. The other people are just like, okay, they're confused. I think this is a year after I met you. And we get the photo. I come back over. We just keep going. And we keep getting sidetracked. So I think it took us longer to finish the course than like anybody. I think we were one of the last. And so we're just over here shivering. And Adela takes her scarf and wraps it around me, and because it's just cold. But we did make it, and we didn't go on any of the side trails.
We just paused and like reflected and took a few photos and maybe were a bird once or twice and thought we could fly, or like decided to go to the edge of things, you know, like the edge of the water or the edge of the where the trail's supposed to end. Like we did kind of slow it. That is where I learned we were one of a kind, that we both liked side quests, like side trails, liked all kinds of stuff. And I was like, you. So I thank Gen Y all the time for like, they like, when I tell them, I'm like, y'all know you partnered the best partners. Like you, at least in my opinion, like you did this one right. Like you picked this, how, I don't know how you pick them, but you picked this one right, just so you know. So I give them all the credit for that. Cause man, when we were on that trail, I was like, yeah. And then she's like, Adela, we're not going to get in trouble. I'm like, I'm the mentor. Let them yell at me. And she's like, yeah, no, but I like following rules. I was like, yeah, rules, schmules. Like literally who, again, putting the I'm supposed to mentor guys. I never said I was a good one. I never claimed to be a good one. I said that from the beginning. I'm just saying.
And then at the end, I loved how they were like, you told them like I wanted to go off all the trails, and they were like, Callie, did you just end up babysitting her? And I was like,
yeah,
I wouldn't put it that way, but like, yeah.
I cannot help it, okay? Callie loves nature. I love nature, okay? When we talk about getting lost in nature, getting lost in nature. I don't care where I'm at. I'm like, ooh. And then she's like, ooh. That's why we're not allowed to be without, you know, boundaries or having actually a responsible adult would be great with us. As I said, a responsible adult, because I'm not one of them. It absolutely was. But it was when I really, really, again, and then during that time too, I was still navigating so much. I was navigating my own stuff. And while you're 16 now, right? In my 30s, I was navigating my youth and my own adulthood and my own childhood trauma and stuff. So I was mentally reliving my 16, 17, 18, 20-year-old lives through all these projects. Like I really was. When we talk about trauma and how it impacts a being and how you're pushed forward to be an adult further than you might need to be, or at younger levels or older ages, like you lose a sense of yourself. You lose a little bit of youth. You lose a little bit of an identity, right? You lose part of that. And me being in my 30s, getting to experience that, getting to feel this like, oh, curiosity, right? Like it really is this level of curiosity and just this freedom to be curious about things around me, the people around me. And why I connected with you so much is that like there was no judgment to me being a little kooky crazy. And like again, while everyone else looked at me and acted and said, hey, childish and so much, it was like, well, yeah, but I'm responsible. I take care of all my stuff. I show up, I execute, I deliver on everything I say I'll do, but I express and I'm curious and I'm like, I have this wonderment about life and I want to know why. Like you said, you had to grow up a little bit earlier. I was just stopped from growing up. I didn't get to play. My first handstand was at 30. My first handstand was at 30 because all the doctor said, Adela, if you ever do a handstand, your wrists will shatter. And you're like, oh, shit, can't do nothing in my life. Pardon my French. And then you're like, I'll never be able to do anything. And then at 30, I'm like, it can't be that. It can't be. So I did. And I have a photo of me going, I did my first handstand at 30. The confidence that gave me. And that was a couple years later, I met you. And so in that time, I was just still starting to navigate. You know, you were 13, 14 when we met. So it's like, right about that. And so to see that and to see the growth and just this transition and to see where you're at now and again, the maturity you have for this life and the wisdom you actually have doesn't only come from what you've experienced, but it comes from the people around you who've shaped you. And it comes from what you've learned in your life through the interactions that you have. And so your judge of character is a lot better than most people's. And so you'll be able to tell who is you get past the persona of even mine, where it's that personality, and you're like, no, I see the heart and I see this. And so when we talk about allowing humans, no matter the age and spaces, to see your heart, this is what I'm talking about. A youth saw my heart and I was able to connect to her. And out again, we talk about the ages, but when you're right there and you go, no, I see something in you. I see, let's be curious about this. Teach me this. I don't know. And I'm like, no, try that. It's okay. Don't worry about that. Like, that's not that big a deal, honey. Don't like wait. It's such a beautiful and blossom relationship. And I thank you so much. I thank you so much for, again, for me too, seeing that, because we don't value the level of the human experience that we provide. Again, I keep talking, no matter what age, space, place, identity, circumstance you're in, like, you being a human being can impact the world in the best or the worst way. And which way do you want to impact, and how do you want to be seen for within that? And you are one heck of a resilient and strong character, Kali, and an inspiration and an absolute honor to know, not only you, but your family, and everything else in between. And what you're going to do and the way you're going to navigate and change, which I already see, it's so much is going to change in your life and your career and everything you do and all that. And you're going to have a hard time here and there and all, but nothing that will keep you down, nothing that will like make you decide you're not worth the effort of trying and doing and winning, regardless of how you might feel and regardless of what setbacks you might have. So you are a continued inspiration as I navigate this too, because if you can do it, what's my old ass not going to be able to do it at? Like, I can do it. I can do it too. Like, I can't have a kid beat me. And that's the competitive part where she's like, yeah, I can't have Adela her beat me either. Right? Like, that's the beauty of the relationships, right?
I've
Yes.
definitely seen that, and I I just love our relationship because it's just supportive.
It is. I'm like I said, when I'm at I better be invited to your wedding, okay? I'm claiming
Oh,
now. Okay, great.
absolutely.
Awesome. Great. I'll make sure we have a whole production team, and like you'll have the best hair, makeup. Like, if you need a planner, you let me know. I will be PDFs and dots and all that, like names, color coordinated. Everybody will know. I got you. You won't have to worry about anything. So you let me know when that happens. I got you. Okay, so I have a little bit of a what is one thing you've discovered about yourself right now that that you hope you'll never forget in your future? What is something you've discovered about yourself through this trial and error?
I think I've discovered um there's always like a negative and a positive. Um, I think I've discovered I'm very independent and don't like asking for help. Um, and then on that, I think I've found that I do have my own strength and I actually have a lot of it. And that's just really cool to discover because we all want to say we're strong and everything. And like it was hard with like the injuries and everything because I didn't show it because I didn't want to show it. I always plastered a smile on my face and I was like, everything's fine. And if you've met my boyfriend now, he's like, you're not fine. And I'm like, but I want to be. And that part's really hard. Um, so just understanding that you don't always have to be strong
Yeah.
shows your strength a little more. And I just thought that was really cool.
Again, wisdom from the child, from the baby mouth of babes. That's the saying, right? Like, oh my gosh. So as someone who's growing into and in a relationship, and you're in a relationship, you're in a young one and all of that. And as a woman, I'll tell you this, and hopefully you don't have to listen to me. I know nothing. I am, however, celebrating 18 years of marriage and 20 years of togetherness and all that. And here's what I've learned in my independent woman style. And by the way, I come from the side and the decade of independent women. Don't tell me nothing. Put a ring on it. Okay. That independent level, we're wrong. Period. End of discussion. We're wrong. We're wrong. We're not gonna save the world. We're not super, like, none of that. We're wrong. We can do anything, but not everything at once. And we can be strong, but we also can be vulnerable, like you said, and allow the people around us to, we don't want to be dependable on people, because we've had the ability of people going, when you depend on them, to, well, not be dependable, not be there for you when you need it, not take care of you. However, part of allowing that is showing your absolute vulnerability to be able to say that regardless or not whether you're going to have me or whatever, like whether you can be dependent or not, this is who I am. In one moment, I'm so strong and I can stand on, I can do all that. But also in the same moment, I can be so weak and I might need to be held up. And whether or not you want to hold me up, eventually I'll hold myself up, but it will be nice. And having that kind of a relationship and having that, but then having someone who do that, now when you say it would be nice and you have it, it is hard to let go of the control of only depending on yourself, even though you have someone proving to you to do that. So as you're navigating that, be honest as you are with him in that it's hard for me to do that, but I'm willing, because that's what I've had to do with my husband. Now, okay, have I missed out on a whole decade or 15 years? I could have been like, super, listen, I'm a delicate flower, okay? I walk around now, I'm like, no, I'm fierce, I am all of that stuff. But when I'm with my husband and like my partner and my space, my relation, I'm a delicate flower. Nope, anything can hurt. Nope, your job is to open my doors, protect me, love me. Your job is to like come and hold my butt. Like, your job is to hug me when I go, Your job is to come and be like, what's wrong with you? Like, that is your, having to give that to be someone's job makes you feel so much more like you can be more yourself and expressive, and why I've been able to too, because I regardless of anyone else, that being around me is, and it's teaching you that, one, you can learn to be expressive, also hold your boundaries and have that conversation. But if one is not willing to hold you when you are having that moment, or one is not willing to even put its foot down. So when he's like, listen, Kali, calm down. Like, this is not needed. Like, okay, cool. Tantrums are cool, but like, calm down. And you go, oh, you told me no. That's what my husband does to me. And you're like, oh, but I like it. Nobody's ever told me no. I can't tell myself no. I don't like it. I want to know you're going to go through all of that, and know that it's not for anything other than if he's treating you good and giving you that love and that support and all of that, then in the guidance too, that allow him to guide you as you allow your friends to guide you, as you allow your mom to guide you, in that, because, and again, you never know where or what happens in the future of life and all of that. However, in the moments that you are doing, you're building yourself more and more, and building, and also teaching them to build that more relationship in there. So just know you're doing a great job. I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself and the people around you. Kudos to all of you guys for also putting up with her. Like, I know her too. Like, I love her, but like, I know her too. She's spicy. She's sweet, but she's also spicy on this. Right. And she like, let's call out spicy where spicy is. I'm spicy too. That's why we get along. Spiciness. So on, what would you say to another young human who feels like their circumstances are limiting them, and in who they think they can become?
I think I don't want to say like push it off or ignore it, but use it. Definitely from the sports background, they teach you if you're mad about something, if you're sad about something, use it as fuel. The second you step on that mat, nothing matters. You give it your all and you do it. And if somebody's not doing their job, you do it for them. If you're in the air and your bases are wobbling or anything, you pull up tighter, you lift yourself up. So just use it as fuel and move forward with it. Don't let it stop you, but also don't just push it off. Use it.
Beautifully said. And last two questions I want to ask. When you imagine yourself from a few years from now, if you want to imagine yourself, take a minute. What do you hope that the older version will thank your version now for?
I I hope everything turned out all right, and I'm hoping they're thanking me for not stopping. um, and I hope that they're proud of me for sharing this part, and because it's it's a 5-year story, and I kept it for so long, and I was sick of it, and I hope that they're proud of me for telling people that. I hope it works out for them.
I can't wait for us to reflect back on this in a couple of years and you go, I am proud of you and I thank you for not giving up. And as Snoop Dogg said, I want to thank everyone and I want to thank myself for not giving up and standing up and doing that. So yes, your older future self will absolutely do that if you continue with this where you're at in there. So let's complete this sentence. We're starting something new, and I think it's kind of cool because look at me making it. Big into that I have a system to start something new. It's great. So what I'm asking my guests now is to complete the sentence. The artist within me is.
I'm going to say the artist within me is ready to show. I'm ready to move out of my comfort zone and just be myself.
I love that. The artist within you is ready to paint, ready to fly, draw, whatever. She's just ready to express. I love that. I love that. Kali, is there anything else you'd like to share, you'd like to leave our listeners off with, or you'd like to anything? How did you enjoy this interview? How did you, anything you want to leave them off with? Did you feel comfortable? Was I so mean? I hope I was mean.
No, this interview is great. And if I could leave them with anything, whatever somebody calls you, whether it's crazy, emotional, dramatic, it's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's good to be crazy. And emotional, it's not a bad thing. It shows that you have depth. And dramatic just means maybe they haven't been near people who showed their emotions. And everybody's going to be different. But those labels don't really matter. The only label you need to think about is your name. And if you are religious, you're a daughter or a son of God or whoever else. And just keep that with you.
I love that. I love that. What I'd like to leave our listeners off with is that you have just heard a story of a young girl who is absolutely inspiring and who is managed to show up for herself, for her family, for her life, and for her dreams, despite her circumstances or tragedies or whatever label we want to put on our obstacle. She is showing up, and when others use those names or calls or say something to you, remember that they're not living your life. They don't know you. They don't know what you think and how you feel every single moment to navigate, to even just have the capacity to listen to them, okay? Stupidity is freedom here. And most people are free to be stupid, and that's fine. But for them to be utilizing the language for that way and not to take the opportunity to get to know you, not to just show compassion, well, again, that's their loss, not yours. I promise you it's not your loss. So remember, those aren't the types of humans you want in your life anyway. You want supportive humans. You want humans who see you for who you are and who will show up for you when you can't walk, who will carry you when you can't be there to carry yourself, who will talk for you when you can't talk for yourself. You need those who will listen for you when you're just not there or able to comprehend for yourself, but they know you well enough to know what you stand for and who you are. And again, Kali is proof of that with her circumstances, with the story she just shared, and with the family and the support system she has. And of course, she always has us here too. So thank you so much for Kali for joining us. Thank you for taking the opportunity. Thank you for believing in my crazy self and being a part of what we're doing. And I cannot wait to share this with you guys. And I hope that, again, you get an amazing perspective in one that you might have needed today. So enjoy it, listen to it, share, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. And thank you for everything else you do. Until next time, my friends, adios.